What is going on, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and my fellow assassins, we are less than 1 week away from the launch of Assassin's Creed Mirage, so as we roll into the weekend, I wanted to take a few moments and go over just some of the reasons of why I am truly looking forward to jumping back into this franchise, and more importantly, answering some of the questions you've sent the channel. Now, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, and we are having a giveaway for an Xbox Series S. We're giving away 2, and all you need to do to enter is either subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winners will be announced October 1st of this year. So the first thing I'd like to do as we begin is go over 3 questions many of you have sent the channel, and they are the following. When does this game launch? How big is the file size? And when can we actually preload it? Now, as of my recording this video, this is the most recent information I have, but I promise next week as we get closer to launch, I will update you if there happen to be any changes. Now, as far as the preloads for all 3 platforms, they take place on October 3rd, and about an hour ago, we just received a new update from the game directly, and they say we're celebrating the upcoming launch of Assassin's Creed Mirage on October 3rd at 6 p.m. CEST and 9 a.m. Pacific. Join us on Twitch for exclusive drops, a collector's case giveaway, celebrity guest appearances, and live gameplay. I know that is something I am definitely going to check out. Now, that does take us to when we can actually play. And as you can see, the game is set to release on October 5th. If you pre-order and preload the game, you'll be able to start playing the game as soon as the clock strikes midnight in your time zone. As far as the file size is concerned, you can see that Xbox is 35.5 gigabyte, PlayStation is between 33 and 35.5, and PC is 40. And as we make our way to some of the reasons of why I am really looking forward to this game, if you have any other questions in regard to the information I just went over, please let me know and I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. Next, we're going to talk about some gameplay features, starting with the map size and design. And one thing I heard when I was covering Assassin's Creed Valhalla was that the sheer size of the map seemed to be a little overwhelming. You could easily find yourself getting completely lost in side missions. And keep in mind, when I say that, that is not necessarily a bad thing. However, more often than not, I would hear from people saying that they wish the map was smaller and more condensed, and with Assassin's Creed Mirage, that is exactly what we're going to get. Most of you know it does take place in Baghdad, and even though we are going to be focusing on one singular city, there is going to be no shortages of things to do. We are talking about tons of side missions. You can also receive contracts from the Hidden Ones Bureau, and obviously those are just a few examples of the things that we know at this point. And in my opinion, and please let me know what you think in the comment section down below, but I truly feel that having one city to focus on also is going to give gamers the feeling of immersion when you're playing. You're going to get used to your surroundings, and that takes us to the next topic, which is combat mechanics. Now, we know if we go back to Assassin's Creed Origins, that in my opinion is when we really saw a turn in the gameplay, because before that game came out, the combat was centered around more counterattacks and parrying, where the most recent games had a more aggressive style of gameplay. Now, the best thing about Mirage, it really seems to be combining those 2 styles together, so for those of you out there that would like to play the game more aggressively, you will have that option, and for everyone else that wants to live in the shadows, you will have that option as well. Now, with that being said, I'm sure you have seen a lot of videos out there from creators who were lucky enough to be invited to try out the game early, and one common theme you are hearing from everyone is that stealth is truly returning with Assassin's Creed Mirage, and that for me is a huge reason why I am really looking forward to jumping back into the franchise. Now, I did enjoy Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but as I mentioned a moment ago, that was a very different style of game, and for me, I did not realize how much I missed these stealth mechanics until I started to see the most recent footage from different creators. And as I mentioned earlier, because this game is going to take place in a more condensed map, it means we are going to be relying on those stealth mechanics more than ever, and in my opinion, it is the top reason why I'm looking forward to getting back into the game. Now, moving on to the topic of character progression, and unlike Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, Mirage is not going to be an RPG, which means that the progression system is going to be much more simplified and streamlined. Now, that holds true not only for the weapons, but the skill tree as well, and as you can see on screen, there are 3 categories when it comes to your skill tree. You have Phantom, which is tied to your assassination skills, Trickster, which is tied to your inventory, and Predator, which is tied to Nkindu, who is your bird. Now, in these skill trees, there are 23 skills that you can learn by spending your skill points, and just like in previous games, you are going to earn those skill points by leveling up your character. Now, at this point, obviously, I have not gotten my hand on the game as yet, but I can promise you, once the game comes out, I will bring you videos on leveling up your character, things you may want to focus on early on in the game. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know and I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. Last but not least today, my fellow assassins, I want to talk about parkour, as we're going to see this come back in a huge way with Assassin's Creed Mirage. Now what you're looking at on screen is an article from Games Radar, and as always I will leave a link to it in the video description down below. Now you can see it says the following: parkour is set to play a huge role in Assassin's Creed Mirage, just as it did in the first two games in the series. Traversing up buildings and across rooftops in the densely layered city of Baghdad will be your primary form of spatial navigation, as it's an aspect that Ubisoft promises will feel better than ever before. We have sped up the pace of the parkour so that players feel agile and empowered while traversing in the city, and they are also bringing back many beloved animations and iconic moves from past games like the corner swing, and they are also introducing a new parkour move like the pole vault to help clear large obstacles. With all that being said, I'm going to start to wrap this up. As always, I want to thank you all for your incredible support of this channel. Now I will be covering this game on day one, and I promise to bring you a spoiler-free review of what I think of the game, because I know for many of you out there you may be on the fence, and in my opinion the best thing to do is just wait until the game comes out. There is no rush whatsoever, because that will allow you to truly make an informed decision on whether this is a game for you or not. I know a lot of people are really curious to see what the gameplay is like with them returning back to the old school roots, and as I've mentioned multiple times in this video, if you have any questions, please let me know. That is going to do it for this thing. I appreciate the privilege of your time. Now I am going to leave you with the most recent launch trailer, and as I mentioned at the end of every one of these, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
We work in the dark to serve the light. Bassem Ibn Ishaq, you have become one of us.
Yeah, I look for drama. Yeah, I'm chasing karma. See some things that other people can't see.
In Baghdad, city of brilliant sun, one must uncover the darkness beneath.
Is it all just a mirage? Is it just a mirage? Is it just a mirage?
You will have to find your way when nothing is as it seems.
Is it all just a mirage? Is it just a mirage?